Right now, somewhere, someone is standing in front of an open fridge at 11 p.m., staring blankly, deciding between leftovers and ordering delivery. We complain about cooking. We call it a chore. We have entire apps built around the concept of, please, someone else make my food. But here's a wild thought. Cooking isn't just a chore. It's one of the single most important inventions in human history. Bigger than the wheel, arguably bigger than the internet in terms of what it did to our actual bodies. Before cooking, humans weren't really humans yet. Not the version of us walking around today. We were something rougher, chewier, slower-brained, literally. So today we're answering the question that sounds simple, but genuinely changed our species forever. Why did ancient humans start cooking? Let's get into it. And yes, there's fire, chaos, and a surprising amount of raw meat involved. Let's set the scene. 2 million-ish years ago. No fire, no stove, just 5 more minutes on the timer. Just you, your teeth, and whatever you manage to catch, dig up, or scavenge. And raw food? It's rough, like genuinely exhausting to eat. Raw meat is tough and stringy. Raw roots and tubers are often hard as rocks or full of bitter, borderline toxic compounds. Early humans reportedly spent hours a day just chewing. Some researchers estimate several hours every single day, purely on the mechanical act of breaking food down enough to swallow it. Think about that. You didn't have time to build tools, make art, or invent the wheel because you were too busy chewing a piece of raw antelope like a world record gum chewing competition that never ends. And even after all that chewing, your body still barely absorbed the calories. Raw food is genuinely harder to digest. Your gut has to work overtime, extracting less energy for way more effort. It's like paying full price for a meal and only getting to eat half of it. So here's your first relatable gut check. Next time you're annoyed waiting 6 minutes for pasta to boil, somewhere in your evolutionary past, a version of you was still chewing yesterday's dinner. The accidental discovery that changed everything. So how did we go from raw and exhausted to fire and flavor? Almost certainly by accident. Early humans didn't invent fire the way you'd invent, say, a smartphone with a plan and a whiteboard. Fire almost certainly came from natural sources first. Lightning strikes, wildfires, volcanic activity. Early humans likely started by simply not running away from natural fires, sticking around the edges, using the heat, maybe noticing something interesting happening to the food caught in it. And that's genuinely how a lot of major discoveries happen even today. Not some genius light bulb moment, but someone going, that's weird, and then poking at it a little more. Learning to actually control fire, to start it on demand, keep it going, carry it between camps, that took an enormous amount of time. We're talking hundreds of thousands of years of trial, error, and probably a lot of very frustrated smoke-covered ancestors. But once humans figured it out, everything changed. Because it turns out, cooked food isn't just tastier. It's biologically a completely different substance.
Here's the part that should genuinely blow your mind. Many anthropologists believe cooking didn't just make food easier to eat, it physically reshaped the human body. Cooking breaks down tough fibers and proteins before your teeth and stomach even get involved. That means way more calories extracted from the same amount of food in way less time with way less chewing. Less chewing meant early humans didn't need those massive jaw muscles and huge grinding teeth anymore. Over generations, jaws got smaller, teeth got smaller, faces literally changed shape. Less digestive effort also meant guts could shrink. And this is the wild part. The theory, championed by primatologist Richard Wrangham, is that all that leftover energy had to go somewhere. So instead of powering a huge gut and huge jaw muscles, that surplus energy is believed to have helped fuel the growth of something else entirely, the human brain. Let that sink in. Cooking dinner might be one of the reasons you're capable of complex thought right now. Somewhere back there, a smaller gut and a smaller jaw quite literally funded a bigger brain. So next time someone says cooking is just a chore, you can inform them with complete confidence that cooking is the reason humans can hold conversations at all. Here's a relatable one. Think about the last time you got mild food poisoning from something undercooked. Miserable, right? Now imagine that risk being your daily normal because every single meal was raw. Cooking kills a massive range of bacteria, parasites, and pathogens that live in raw meat and unwashed plants. Before cooking, early humans were almost certainly dealing with constant exposure to foodborne illness and parasites, a slow, silent threat that didn't need a predator or an accident to kill you, just dinner. Cooking dramatically cut that risk down. Suddenly, meals weren't just easier to chew, they were safer to eat, meaning fewer early deaths, fewer illnesses, more energy for actually surviving instead of recovering. It's honestly one of the earliest forms of public health, except instead of a health inspector, it was just some early human going, food doesn't make me sick after it's been near the fire, and passing that observation down for generations. Here's the part that hits closer to home than you'd expect. Cooking didn't just change biology, it changed culture. Before fire, eating was probably a fast, individual, grab-it-and-go kind of activity, because raw food doesn't exactly invite lingering. But cooking takes time. You have to wait, you have to sit somewhere. And where there's fire, there's warmth, light, and a reason to actually stick around together instead of scattering. Many anthropologists believe cooking fires became the very first version of something you still do today, the shared meal. People gathering, waiting for food, talking, telling stories, bonding. The literal origin of "let's catch up over dinner" may trace back to a group of early humans sitting around a fire, waiting for meat to stop being raw. So that dinner table you sit at, the group chat planning who's cooking tonight, the entire concept of a dinner party, that's not a modern social construct. That might be one of the oldest human traditions we still practice, almost exactly the same way, just with better seasoning now. So the next time you're annoyed about cooking or ordering in because you genuinely can't be bothered, remember, you're taking part in the exact same ritual that helped build the human brain, made food safer, and turned eating into something we do together. Cooking wasn't just dinner, it was basically an upgrade to the entire species. If this one surprised you, subscribe, because next time we're diving into the ancient habit that's even weirder than you'd expect. See you next time.